Are you sick and tired of watching manifestation content? Are you getting to the point where you are bored? Or you feel like that you are ready to reply to the next thing the person says in the video? Because maybe you've consumed enough to know the basics of how conscious manifestation works. Now it's time to apply. And maybe you've already started, so don't take that as a judgment. But now it's the time to go live and thrive. Do you really think you need another video? Don't get me wrong, if you're new, I know that videos can make you feel comforted. Listening to someone that maybe has manifested the thing that you're manifesting. It's comforting, especially if they are a creator that gets personal and shares a little bit about their own journey. It feels good, especially if you can relate. But the message is the same. From video to video, this is how to manifest your specific person, how to manifest money, how to manifest a new career, how to manifest a change of appearance, how to manifest health. It's all the same. The only thing that changes in each video is that creator's personal perspective on manifestation and how they do it. But guess what? It doesn't friggin' matter how they do it. It doesn't matter how that creator does it. What matters is what works for you. What feels good to you. Aren't you sick and tired of listening to someone else in a video, sharing every bit about their selves and what they've manifested and what they think is right? Knowing the whole time as you're watching that video that the only person that matters is you. How it's going to work for you in your reality. I read another comment. I thought it was interesting. I'm also tired of manifestation content. I've been watching manifestation videos for almost 5 years now, and I have no one to blame but myself. I don't know what happens to me that I only persist for 3 days, and then I go back to thinking that I don't have what I want, and I don't even realize it. And this was not a negative comment. This was a sincere comment. And I have a feeling this person is not alone. I bet there's a bunch of you out there that can resonate with that. And this is, listen, a lot of content out there are talking basic bitch surface level things. So that one powerful affirmation is eventually going to grow cold and seemingly not work. Why? Because you're not getting to the heart of who you are. And listen, per this person's comment, after 3 days, this person's right back to not believing, to not having, right? To not knowing or deciding who she is. Why? Because she goes back to being unconscious and entangled with the 3D. And we're all guilty. This is no judgment on her. But if you can resonate with her comment, if you can feel that way, that you've been at this for a while and nothing's changed and you yourself catch yourself not sticking to it, well, come on, let's do it. I want you to get what you want. I'm the person that's making this manifestation content. So obviously I want the views. I love that. That's why I'm here. But I also know that what really matters is that you get your desire. At the end of the day, the whole point to be here is to help people get what they want. I appreciate the video views, but I don't want it to take 5 years for you. I don't want it to take that long. So let's do something about it today. You got to break through that habit. If you can resonate with this comment and you know that after a couple of days, you're right back to believing you don't have what you want. Reality isn't changing. You're getting frustrated. There you go. There's your plateau. Let's make today the day that you push through the plateau. Put this video on. Every time you're feeling that boredom or that frustration, whatever means plateaued for you, put it on. And let's snap, crackle, pop your ass. You got to push through this. Listen, form, right? The physical world around you is form. It's conscious awareness taking form. Everything around you is consciousness. Everything. Literally. My glasses, the mouse, the Apple TV remote, form. Me, my dog pacing back and forth, form. Consciousness taking form. You are the consciousness directing what form takes place. How reality presents things to you might not always be seemingly under your control, but it is under your control. Because you're deciding what those things mean. You're giving them meanings. So if we've got a belief, we can only make it, we only feel zhuzhed and ready to persist for 3 days. That is conscious awareness choosing to take form in whatever your name is, in the state of, I can't do this. I can't do this dominantly. I can't persist past 3 days. So I'm bracing for impact that I'm going to give up and fail. It's a story, and every single thing in your life sincerely is conditioning, a story, something manifested from a belief, something manifested from a belief housed in a particular state of consciousness. Today we're breaking through. I refuse to be that old self. I refuse it. I refuse it. I am my new self. If you don't like that wording, change the wording. I am who I say I am. I am the version of myself that has, you finish that. What are you manifesting? I am the version of self that is aware of being the self that has the loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, that has the money, more money than I know what to do with. Oh my God, my life has changed. Start talking to yourself like that every single day. You start your day knowing who you are. Some of us, listen, if you're not experiencing anything in reality that you feel comfortable claiming as evidence, which that's a whole other conversation, and then you're getting lackadaisical on taking the time to see, to check in with yourself. Who am I aware of being in this moment? And we get like, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing it. Nothing's changing. This is stupid. Might as well give up. Then you are your own worst enemy. That's not to the commenter, because she was owning it. You got to push through. Your desired life needs to mean a little bit more. Now, for some of you, I know that you're out there, and I know and I believe that you are doing your best. So this isn't a crack at you. This is when you're starting to feel like shit, when you're starting to doubt. What are you thinking in that very moment? What out in reality is making you question yourself? Or what thought is making you question yourself? And here is your reminder. Go ahead and timestamp and come back to this. It is just a thought. Or it is just the manifestation of your old self, but it is still a part of the unfolding of you getting exactly what you want. You're just not seeing the clear meaning behind why it's here. You're not seeing the biggest orchestration. Let me just say, I've had so many calls this week, and one that stood out to me, and this is because this person is newer to me, but she's been watching the channel for several months. She's been doing her best, and she reached her limit. And that's when she reached out to me. And she told me in the call, I am so sick of feeling like this. I am so sick of caring so much. I'm so sick of being so upset when specific person doesn't do A, B, or C. I'm so sick of this. And I said, good. Good. Be sick of it. Be sick of it. You use that fire in your belly in that moment. I know I get passionate and I know I'm loud. But it's because I get so into this, because I've done this. And I know you can break through this. But she listened to me. I said, listen, this is a good thing. You use that. You use the conviction in your decision that you don't want to feel like this anymore to double down that you refuse to be your old self. Do you understand that in the moment that you refuse to be your old self, no matter what evidence you have in the 3D that you still are your old self, that in that moment you're saying that with the authority of consciousness, of God, of universe, higher power, source energy, moon means. You're taking control of who you are in that moment. You're choosing to not let mind take over anymore. You're taking the power back. You're not allowing yourself to be took from thought to thought to thought to thought, where all of you follows each thought and you're getting bounced all over the place. You're taking the power back from doing that. You're saying no. It's like taking a wrench and putting it right into the winding fan blades. And you've stopped it. You stopped it dead in its tracks. Do you know what that means? The moment you said, I refuse to be my old self, boom, out of that reality. Immediately, instantly. I've been on here for 5 years now? And I've made so many videos about this, but I'm saying it again. It is instant. You instantly stop from going to that reality. You might not feel anything. Some of you might. And then you tell yourself who you are. And you tell yourself with that same authority, I refuse to allow anything in 3D reality to tell me anything but I'm getting what I want. I'm not listening to anything out here anymore. Aren't you tired of being controlled by circumstances? And that's what this girl was. She was sick of being controlled. And she was someone that felt she was successful in every area of her life, but the love category, like I know so many of you felt. I know so many of you feel like. I felt the same way. It's exactly who I was, but I would have said money area too. She wanted change. And I told her, very similar to what I tell you all. Okay, use that. You double down in that conviction that you are or you refuse to be your old self, and then you are, and you finish that. Who are you? Who do you choose to be? And when you catch yourself being pulled back into an unfavorable direction, question yourself. Who am I being? Why am I responding this way? Why is this bothering me? What meaning am I giving it? And I mentioned in yesterday's video, think of that infinite long rope with knots on it. Like you're playing Survivor and you got to undo the knots to keep going. Every time that you question why you're believing the thought that is in that moment bothering you, you're untying the knot. And that knot has what is tethering you to the reality you don't want to be in. And you're untethering. You're untethering. And yes, you don't have to be the person that goes through a million gazillion knots. You don't have to spend a lifetime untethering yourself. You can just make a decision that you are your new self and you refuse, you detach to allow anything outside to tell you differently. Yes, that is enough to move you there and keep you there. But for anybody else who gets pulled back with doubtful thoughts, this doesn't have to take you forever. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But every time that you refuse to automatically be pulled to the reality you don't want to be in, when your thoughts start going back to, why is this happening? Why hasn't this changed? Stop. Why are you thinking that? What evidence are you looking out here, seeing or not seeing, and claiming that that means your manifestation isn't here? Why do you believe that? You keep asking yourself enough questions, you're going to come to see that, oh my God, it's just a thought. It wasn't a fact because I thought it. It was just a thought. Or, we can call it the fearful thought. That's all it was. And now I see right through it. Editing Kim here. I forgot the whole point of me bringing up the person that I worked with this week when she mentioned that she was refusing to be her old self. And when anything, any thought, anything in reality gave her pause, she asked herself, why do I feel this way? What am I believing? Who am I being? And guess what happened? Her specific person started showing up much more favorable. So you see, you got to check in with yourself. You got to make a decision and stick with it. Or do your best to return. So for example, if you're manifesting a specific person and your specific person hasn't returned your calls today, and you're panicking at home like my old self would because you're not hearing from your person, why are you panicking? Untie the knot. Maybe your answer was because I think they don't want to be with me anymore. They must not feel like I'm a priority. Why are you equating not hearing from your person? That means that you're not a priority. You untie another knot. Well, your answer is probably, well, because he's done this before or she's done this before. And the last time she went all day not talking to me, we ended up breaking up. Okay, so you think it's a repeat performance, or you're comparing it to a past experience? Go ahead and untie another knot. Are you the same version of yourself that manifested that experience? No, untie a knot. Does someone being quiet instantly mean they don't love you? No, untie a knot. You keep questioning yourself, and you're going to come to see over and over and over again that they're just bogus bullshit conditioning, bogus bullshit beliefs. And you're going to get yourself to a place where you're going to start living and thriving and not giving a shit about what is in front of you, because you're going to get to that knowing feeling that you know this is going to happen, this is going to work, and it's because it is and it will. So, if you are someone that doubts that you can go through a couple of days and then you give up again, not anymore, you don't. You refuse to be that version of yourself, period. I saw another comment, and it came from someone who, I think she was of a certain age, and she said, listen, this is not the direct comment. I'm just going off memory. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to think about who you would be if I've never had that experience before. Now, I've answered that one a million gazillion times on this channel, but I'm going to say it again. No, that's you believing that you have a limit to that desire. For anybody manifesting that you've had a previous experience with, that doesn't automatically mean that it's easier for you to manifest it or more difficult. All of it it's a belief. It's a false, it's a lie, it's a fear. If you ever experienced your first kiss, your first date, your first loving text message with your specific person, and you'd never experienced them before, well, where did that come from? How did that happen? Desire. Everything comes from desire. You're going to have firsts in everything in your life, but that doesn't mean that you don't have an idea of how that thing might make you feel. That's also telling me that you're someone that, oh my gosh, you are afraid of making mistakes. You can't make mistakes. You can't in manifestation. You can't. You're going to be redirected no matter what. We don't make mistakes. We're growing and evolving. If you've never experienced the thing you're manifesting, that does not automatically make that thing more difficult to manifest. That is a limited belief. I know I'm going all over the place, getting ranty. It's because, listen, so many of you are clinging so tightly to your limits. But then again, I've got a lot of comments of people finally freeing themselves and finally understanding what it means to be their new self and having success and feeling 100 times better. It's not because any of these other people are more special than you or they're more better at this than you. It's not that at all. You've got a belief that we're going to let go of by refusing to listen to it anymore and choosing the new self with the authority of your conscious awareness. Now, again, as I was saying, if you don't know what it would feel like to have the thing you're manifesting, ask yourself, why do you even want it? Why do you want it? Why? Go back to the moment where you first decided you desire that thing. Those of you who have your driver's licenses, well, do you remember the first time you drove a car? Before that, did you know what it was going to feel like to drive the car? You might have seen your family members or friends or siblings, co-workers driving, but you hadn't done it yet, so how did you know how it was going to feel? Everything in your life really is a first, or has its first moment. You think it's going to feel good. It's going to give you something. Now, in truth, the feeling and what you're giving to yourself technically is always coming from within. Nothing out here is going to ever fulfill you. That comes from you. And the quicker you realize that, the quicker you're going to be able to not only manifest exactly what you want, but keep it. You don't have to be perfect at this. You just got to have an idea of who you want to be and what you in this moment think it might feel like to be that version of yourself. If you've never had a relationship and you're manifesting a relationship, so you don't think you know how it would feel to be in a relationship, ask yourself, why do you want it? More than likely, the answer is something along the lines, well, I think I'm going to feel good. I think I'm just going to feel a little bit better. I think I'm going to enjoy the feeling of knowing someone else chooses me, wants to have a relationship with me. I think it would be fun. You just answered yourself of how it would feel to be that version of yourself. Go there. Focus there. Boom. Yes, that simple. Boom. If you're tired of watching content and you feel like you know everything, but just reality just isn't changing, number one, stop talking like that. And take my advice of changing your perception of that reality. And sometimes that requires you surrendering the idea that you know exactly how it's going to come to you. Some of you are worried you're manifesting a specific person and you are so dead set that that manifestation is going to come through a text message. So you wake up every day disappointed as you look at your phone because the text message isn't here. That is you walking around with a preconceived idea that it must come initially through a text. It probably ain't going to come anywhere near that text. I'm not saying you can't manifest a text. That's a different video. But you see what I mean? Stop waiting for something out here to give you permission to focus on who you want to be. Getting so uppity. You are faceless, formless, shapeless awareness. That is who you are. And you are choosing, selecting, deciding which reality you're in. And the more you focus on something, I'm telling you, that is your way of guaranteeing that it will take shape in your reality. It will come in to form. It will manifest. But you got to stop arguing with yourself. You got to stop doubting yourself. And I know that's not always easy. And every time you start to feel that way, you remember me saying, what are you thinking about right now? Why are you believing that thought? What meaning are you giving it? Untying knots. We're just untying knots. And then you remind yourself, who's the observer? Who's there? Who's thinking the thoughts? Who's looking out behind your eyes? It's probably a good place to in this video. Shapeless, formless, faceless consciousness. That's who you are. That's who you are. You're not just the little avatar that you're walking around experiencing reality through. You are so much more powerful than that. So stop limiting your avatar. It's like you're playing Ms. Pac-Man and you're keeping Ms. Pac-Man stuck in the left-hand bottom corner. And you won't get her out of there so she can eat some more thingamajiggers. You're keeping your Ms. Pac-Man in the corner by telling the story. You can't do this. You can't make it past 3 days. You've been doing this for so long, it's probably never going to work. You should just give up on your desire because it's not here yet. No, you shouldn't put your life on hold. You shouldn't be holding your breath every single day and that you can't be happy and you can't live and exist without the manifestation. No, you don't want to do that either. Because that's a version of yourself now, isn't it? You got Miss Pac-Man down, stuck in the corner. If any of you don't know what that game is, that's really gonna age me. Let me just say. I used to have the little video game, It looked just like the arcade. It was like a mini of the arcade one. You could hold it in your lap and use the little joystick on there and do it. I loved Miss Pac-Man, regardless. You are an avatar. That's really what you are. And that can be hard to accept. Let me just say this. If you know you've been telling the story that this isn't working and nothing's happening, what's your reality saying? What evidence are you experiencing? There you go, Master Manifester. Got to change the story. You got to realize you're more than the story. You're more than your thoughts. The thoughts aren't you. The thoughts aren't you. You're the observer observing the thoughts that takes form in this avatar. And from there decides which state of consciousness it's inhabiting to experience physical reality. If you like the movie The Matrix, you're Neo. You're Neo. Or you're Trinity. That's Poop's actual real name, just so you know. Trinity. From The Matrix. So, on that note, I know I've ranted, I've raved. Let me just say, if you would like to work with me in any way, shape, or form, and you can handle this sass, number one, think about subscribing. Number two, all of that information is in the Dropbox below, including my 3 channel memberships. Highly encourage you to take a look at the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors. That's where we deep dive manifestation. We meet together every single week for at minimum an hour. That VIP Advanced Manifestors group gives you access to all of the channel memberships. And all 3 of my channel memberships meet live together in Zoom meetings every single week. So you join the Advanced Manifestors, that means you're going to be hanging out with this pretty face 3 times a week. If you can make the meeting, of course. I understand things come up, and that's okay if you miss a meeting. But 3 times a week. And each membership meeting is at minimum an hour. Every one of them. So you're getting like 3 one-hour calls with me every single week. Do you understand that? 3 times 4, right? 4 weeks in a month. 3 times. That's a lot. That's 36 1 hours, right? Is that right? Why did I say that? I'm not sure. I think it is 3 times 12, 36. Yeah. Well, why would I go? No, 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 1 hour calls. Okay? Find me another membership that you hang out with somebody this fun multiple times a week. Not going to happen. So check out that. Join the Advanced Manifestors. It's going to give you access to the exclusive lives group because that one goes live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join. It is not a waste of your money. And the Advanced Manifestors, they get a few more perks than all the other groups. And we're not going to talk about them right now. We'll talk about them maybe tomorrow. I love you all. Who are you? And who are you going to refuse to be? Start showing up to reality right now in this moment as the self you want to be. See through the veil of the thoughts and the stories and the conditions, the beliefs, the lies. See through them. Question them. Question the belief. Question the thought. Why did I instantly believe this thought? Why is this thought instantly having an effect on me? Why is that happening? Where did that come from? Why do I believe that so instantly, so quickly? I just said that. All right, I should stop talking. On that note, I'll see you tomorrow.